So here we go with our arguments in relationships. How an argument can turn into a discussion and what we can do to make it happen. They usually start with something as ridiculous as this, okay? So what is an elephant? It's clearly an animal with something very long, and it's grey and it's enormous. And the other person will say, no way. It's grey and it's enormous, but it has a very short thing hanging from it. So this is the point of view, and immediately what happens? We have our friends coming along. This one is furious. These are the messengers, remember, the three messengers. This messenger is quite furious because somebody has come and invaded my territory of thought, and they're bringing in a new name and a new idea to describe something that I see perfectly clearly. Who do you think you are telling me that it has this thing hanging from it, and it's short or it's long or whatever, and it's the opposite of what I said. So you're invading me, how dare you? This one over here says, I'm so sad because I've lost the person that always understood me, and I've also lost my definition of what's going on, and I really don't like what's going on. And this one over here says, danger, you're in danger, the relationship is in danger, the situation is a dangerous situation, protect yourself, become defensive. So what do I have to do with my three messengers? My three messengers are useful. Thank you very much, messengers. I would like you to give me your letters and step aside. And I'm going to turn this argument into a discussion, right? So I take my messengers and I put them aside over here. And right now you're going to see how I transform my argument into a discussion. Because here comes my lovely alternative guy who questions everything, my pirate of the Caribbean. And he looks at the he looks at the circumstance from a different place. And he says, well, maybe you're right. Maybe it is a thing that has a long thing hanging from it or a short thing, but in any case, perhaps we're looking at the same object from two different perspectives. Because this one always says, how could we look at it from another perspective? Could it be different? Could it be something else? What am I missing out? What other thing could be happening? It always questions, okay? This guy always questions. Remember, we're working on the art of switching from here to here. A life of scarcity, unhappiness, mistrust, wanting, a very sad life, turning it into a life of satisfaction, the conviction that I shall not want, the conviction that life is a happy place to be, and that I'm safe, okay? This is the art of living, switching from here to here. And one of the things that we want to switch from here to here is to have a good relationship with discussions and not to have arguments. So we're learning how to turn around the egg. Turn the egg around, please. Then we ask this guy to come along, who is a lovely friend. Death is a fabulous friend because death reminds us that the clock is ticking, life is short, things are finite, they're not infinite. And we all have limitations, we all have things that don't work well. So why don't I use somebody else's point of view to look at things? Why don't I indulge in being an imperfect person and recognizing that everybody is imperfect, okay? So if we do all of these things, we keep our messengers over here, we listen to these guys, we will eventually have a discussion, which is a description of a situation from several points of view. Now, this is what companies do when they're trying to find out something very complicated. And you can do this in your relationship and in your family to find out a 3D explanation of complex and not so complex situations. Don't try to be right. Try to have a relationship, because that's what you really want, okay? All the best. See you soon.